Welcome to the Bradling Podcast, your home for expert wedding planning advice. Today we're going to talk all about how to stay sane and stay organized and do really well when you're wedding planning as far as it comes to time management. Planning a wedding can be overwhelming and there's so many tasks to do, it can be hard to keep track of everything. Making sure you're organized and that you have a great process from the get-go can keep you sane. I'm going to give you a few tips today on how to organize your tasks, how to organize some of your photos and inspiration, and also just how to organize your time better. First and foremost, let me give you a little tip about a project management tool that we use in my own business that helps keep our entire business running smoothly. We use something called Asana. That's Asana. It's a free website where you can sign up for it, and it also has an app. Within it, you can assign different projects. You can allow yourself to list out different tasks. You can even have subtasks within a task. You can assign due dates. You can write a description about a project. You can send attachments. And if you have a paid plan like me, you can actually assign some of your tasks from one person to another. Now, you might not have to go as far as getting a paid plan because they do have a free option, but I love using Asana when I start wedding planning for clients. What we do is we make individual projects for clients within Asana. Then we put in those projects each different task that needs to be taken care of. We can add attachments as needed. We can do descriptions just explaining the overall task. And then also you can comment on the tasks. This really helps me and my team because when they write a comment, I know exactly what tasks they're talking about. If you are going to use Asana to plan out your task list and your to-do list for planning your wedding, what my recommendation would be is to use your Asana account for your wedding, and each project could be each different vendor category. So example, photographer, catering, venue. You can keep your tasks in there, such as sign the contract and even have your contract attached. What I really love about it is that it can connect with your Google Calendar. So that way, if you put due dates on your tasks in Asana, they'll automatically show up on your calendar. So you can check that to keep yourself on schedule. Using Asana has really streamlined our business. And honestly, what I do every morning is I wake up, I look at my Asana task list, and I think, who can I assign other tasks to? Who can complete some stuff for me? And then I'll go down the list of tasks and I'll start assigning it to people that work for me. You could do the same thing with your Asana account, except instead of it being people that work for you, it could be people that have volunteered to help you with your wedding plans. And then it also keeps track of who got assigned what. And I'll be honest, as soon as you mark your task complete, there's a unicorn that will jump across your computer screen. So it makes you feel really good about yourself and about getting your tasks done. I also love that it's an app, so I can have it with me on my phone at all times so I can check it as needed. And it even connects with Siri if you have an iPhone, so you can verbally tell Siri to add a task to your task list in Asana, and it'll just show up. There's also an extension that you can use for Google Chrome if you want to attach it to an email. And then as an email gets sent, you could allow that email to become a task in Asana. So it's a great tool just to use to keep your task list organized. Now, another tool that I recommend, and it's no secret to anyone, is Pinterest. Using Pinterest to keep all of your inspiration in one place can really help whenever you're going to do consultations with some vendors like a florist. But I will say something that Pinterest can do is allow you to get overwhelmed with inspiration to the point where you really don't even know where to start. So my best recommendation is to figure out the certain types of wedding you might want to have. And I said types with an S, plural, because when you first get started, you don't know what you want. Any type of wedding might do, and you have to kind of narrow it down. So maybe you'll have a Pinterest board for a destination wedding at the beach, another one in your local hometown that has 250 people and a rustic theme, or a really intimate wedding with a vintage theme that may or may not be close to home. Adding inspiration to these can help you narrow down your choices, and then overall you can start to get a feel for what you like best. Then I would create a secret Pinterest board where you put your inspiration that you're truly going to use for the event you've chosen to have. This is the board that you can share with your wedding professionals to help explain what your vision is for your event. And it really comes in handy when you're talking about aesthetics and design with things like the florist and your event designer. Another tool that I find really handy is email. I know that that's silly, but creating an email specifically for your event, so that way it keeps it separate from your work email, your school email, or your personal email, will not only help you try to navigate the amount of information and communication that's going to be thrown at you when you're planning a wedding, it'll also help keep you sane. Because if you're working on school, you don't need to have an email come across about your wedding and instantly while you're studying for a test, you start getting stressed out about wedding planning. What you need to do is keep your life separate. That way you can have everything in a separate compartment. You can manage your time better and you won't be trying to multitask to the point where you're just stressing yourself out. Also, I'm not going to lie, when you start giving out your email when you're planning a wedding, there are some people that are going to spam you. So you're going to start getting some information that you may or may not have asked for. If you have a wedding only email address, it doesn't fill up your inbox as much. And then when the wedding's over, you don't have to deal with all of these advertisements still coming to like your personal email or your work email. So I know these were 3 simple tools that you could use to keep yourself organized and sane for your wedding, but I just wanted to pass along this information in case you haven't thought of it yet, because I know what you're doing with planning a wedding can be really stressful. I hope that these tools help you today. And for more expert wedding planning advice, follow us at The Bride Link.